be some stuff that has rolled in here in the last couple of days. Most of the stuff is brand new releases on the domestic side of things, and there's one kit that I won off of eBay by accident. Well, not on. Nobody ever wins anything on eBay on accident, but I bid literally the minimum opening bid on this thing, and then sort of forgot about it, and then my phone's all spitting notifications, "Hey, you won this item," and I was like, "Wow, okay." Was not expecting that due to the fact that I figured it would probably sell for a good deal more than it did. Went for probably a good $10 less than its actual value. So, I mean, I'm happy, but I was sort of expected, somebody to actually bid on it and get it. I just sort of was like, well, that's a really good price on that. I'll throw a bid in it just for the, again, the giggles. So anyway, spin the camera around. We'll show you what you got. Okay, back here in the distance, you can see some Ferrari parts. This is the instructions to the SLS. So no actual construction taking place right now because we're doing this video, but I've been tinkering around with it. Hopefully we'll have something to update, I don't know, in the next month or so. Let's be honest, we're not exactly working on it real hard here, but be that as it may. This is the eBay accident. There we go. This is the 2009 version, allegedly. I'm not sure that there's any actual difference. I'd have to compare it to the 2011 version that I have of the Mercedes-Benz C-Class DTM car. Yeah, anybody who's bought German or Revell Germany kits knows that these things are sealed with little half moons of seals on the ends, and those are still there. So this is still sealed. It's a little bent up, but I think most of that had to do with the fact that somebody punted it through the postal system, so hopefully everything inside of it is still there. I'd actually bid on this in an Audi, what is it that they did? An Audi A4 that came with extra sets of decals, and I didn't win that. And I still, I went back and I'm like, I kind of like the graphic scheme here. I think I didn't buy this car originally because the roof is supposed to be painted silver on it, and when I bought I'm trying to think what the heck they call it, the Mercedes-Benz Bank one, it's a uniform single color, and so I passed on this one. But again, like I said, for $24.99, which is about $10 less than it goes for, maybe even $12 less than it goes for, depending on your hobby shop. Again, that was just a little bit too much of a deal to pass up, even if I wasn't really trying to hitch a ride on it necessarily. It was just like I said, I'll throw a bid at it and see what happens. And I won, so hooray. Let's see here. I need to move some stuff over this way. So I'm not reaching around and talking off camera. So first thing you saw sort of hobbling through the screen there is this. This is the So this is the first of the domestic releases. I see it's still in the shrink wrap. I haven't had a chance to really go through these, although it then becomes this whole situation where with certain ones of these kits you open these days, you can't get it all back in again. This is the newly reissued 79 Ford Pinto wagon that came out under the MPC labels from round 2. The new parts, if you want to call it that, are the fact that these tires are pad printed, and then there's new decal sheets in here, and I guess it's probably a mini display box, since that seems to be the thing that all these round 2 retro deluxe edition kits come with. You can build it fairly stock. It was confirmed by I want to say Daryl the other day that this kit does not come with stock wheel covers. You get these little 5-slot mags, and that's it, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. I mean, it's got a certain, with this way this box art is, it's got a really 70s vibe to it, but I'm okay with the 70s vibe to it. You can build this with either the 4-cylinder that the stock car comes with, or I believe it has something resembling a 302 in it. It's definitely a small engine, obviously, because it's not that big of a car. You do, in the case of this kit, do get just the station wagon windows. Actually, in order to build this with the cruising packages, that what this actually was called, because they really did sell it with this sort of porthole window. I'm pointing at stuff that isn't on the screen. They did sell it with this porthole window. Uh, and goofy. I don't know if the goofy spoiler necessarily came with it or not, but at any rate, in order to put this panel in here, you actually have to cut the C pillar out of the uh, kit itself to install it. So, as it stands, there's a stock wagon in here with stock windows, and here's your four banger and your 302 or whatever it's supposed to be because it's painted orange and not Ford engine blue. What the heck? I don't know. That may be a thing back then. I'm not sure of my Ford engine history. As well as point out, round two boxes come with the parts layout silhouette on the bottom here. And so you'll see, for example, your two different parts runners that have engine pieces to it. A fairly robust chrome tree. Some of that will probably have to be stripped, because I think this is the fan for both engines, for example. I don't think that nearly needs to be chrome, as it were. And so you get one set of tires. You get the one set of wheels that are on the chrome tree. A little mini version of the decal sheet down there. And like I said, it's a one-piece glass with the headlights and the roof porthole all molded in the center. You get the single exhaust pipe for the four-cylinder, and then there are just straight pipes for the V8. So there's not an actual exhaust system per se for the bigger engine. One thing you'll notice about this kit, and this was sort of the era as who's we in this situation? But if people say when MPC really started, and ironically considering the subject matter at hand, started making some pretty good kits. You'll notice this is a platform style interior. There's entire side panels rather than being a traditional sort of tub type thing. Oops, I put it down there. There's the side panels up here. They're on a runner with just the steering wheel. But it still builds basically off of the chassis plate, the top of the chassis plate, as opposed to being a platform, but it does have these side panels in it rather than it just being a tub that sits in there. The next thing that we picked up on the same trip to the same hobby shop was this. This is the brand new Mobius version. Notice this is not a Model King version. This is a Mobius version of the 1972 Ford F100 Sport Custom. This is finally the short bed version that Mobius is going to release. You'll remember, of course, that the 69 Ford and the 70 Ford have been Model King releases with the short bed. This, why do I want this? Well, in addition to obviously having the newer grille on here to convert into a 72, this does also come with a 302 engine in it rather than the 6-cylinder. And beyond that, really, I don't think there's anything different about it. Obviously, there's a new exhaust system in here for the 302. I want to say, I'd have to get one out to look at it, but I want to say there's a single exhaust for the 6-cylinder. So you guys have duals here for the 302. And beyond that, I mean, here's your sort of other side of the box. One thing you can't fault Mobius for is the box art. They have some very, very, very nice box art, very well done, and has good shelf presence and all those other kind of mumbo jumbo hobby sales technical terms. Stuff inside, yeah, sometimes at least something to be desired. I hesitate to look in here. I haven't even opened my 70 yet because I'm just fearful of what may or may not be warped in here when I get to it. But be that as it may. The other two, and these are going to be coming to you fresh, so fresh that we haven't even talked about them on the stash report yet, because they literally just came out Monday. If you have a preferred provider retailer, please note that you have to have a preferred provider retailer. Regular hobby shops that don't participate in the We Buy Everything That Revell Sells Us program won't have this in until the end of the month, perhaps the beginning of next month, depending on how far away they are from Tower Hobbies distribution centers. This is the brand new, quote-unquote, 1930 Ford Model A Coupe 2-in-1. Of course, this is based on the 29 Ford Model A Roadster that came out last year. You're going to get a small block Chevy with this. You do have the option of the blown version of the Chevy engine. One thing was pointed out on a forum that I was not particularly aware of because I hadn't paid that much attention to it because I don't necessarily see myself building it in the blown fashion, is that this is the first streetable blown small block Chevy in many, many years. Most small block Chevys, or big block Chevys for that matter, that have a supercharger blown in intake kind of thing, have been competition style. So you have an alternator here, and you have a water pump and all the other necessary accessory drive pieces to make this a streetable blown engine rather than being a drag only version. So I believe what that person had said, and I believe them to be a fairly reliable source, that the last blown streetable small block Chevy engine was in the Monogram Revell 1978 Camaro that gets reissued from time to time. On the side panel here, you get to see a number of your choices. You've got a regular sort of traditional style hot rod interior, and you've got this bomber interior. Again, that showing the bomber interior's gutted door panels in this photo here, showing your options between steering wheels. You do get the two frames in this the way you did in the 29. You get the traditional Model A grill, as well as sort of a 32 Ford grill here, and this little teeny tiny picture here is showing you what it looks like in a, I believe it would be a low boy with a blown Chevy. Really not a bad looking vehicle there. And then I believe these wheels are new-ish. I can't say for sure that they're new, because I gotta be perfectly honest, guys, I don't buy a whole heck of a lot of Revell kits. If you've been with this channel for the almost 2 years that we've been doing it now, you know that. I really don't buy that much Revell stuff. But I kind of like these wheels, and I kind of like the way that blown motor looks all put together. This little window box here doesn't really do much for me. So, while I couldn't see myself buying 2 of these per se, I'll have to think about how I'm going to actually build this when I get around to it. And then, lastly for this video, and lastly for a new release, is this. This is finally the non-chopped version of the 1948 Ford Coupe. They're marketing here as a police coupe, but of course here in the foreground, or actually the background rather, you could see you could build just a regular factory 48 Ford from it. This box art offends me deeply as a native Virginian. This is supposed to be a representation of the Virginia State Police. That's what the license plates say. And on the back here, you can see that there's a state police thing with another state police tag on the back here. The reason why this is so offensive, aside from the fact that I don't believe the Virginia State Police ever used this black and white two-tone nonsense, nor do I believe they've ever used this 5-point sheriff star style thing, regardless of the fact that they put Virginia State Police in around the star, is the fact that in 1948, which is what this car obviously represents, it was the first year the Virginia State Police went to their very famous, very well-known, I would argue that it's probably one of the third best known paint schemes out there, after, of course, the CHP black and white and the Massachusetts French and electric blue. 1948 was the year that Virginia State Police went to their gold gray and dark blue colors that they still use to this day. If you're gonna do something, and I think these license plates might actually be technically correct. I think somebody might want that. There's a police license plate website, believe it or not. I believe that they may have copied these license plates from there, but the rest of this is wildly incorrect as far as equipment, light positions, the color scheme in general. And I know, oh, you're just picking on them. They're just trying to, well, no, then just make it police. Don't make it say Virginia State Police. Don't make it a specific agency if you're going to do a half-assed job of doing this. Maybe there are actual real Virginia State Police decals in this kit. I doubt it. But why? Because why would you do this? One thing to note is this kit does come with event windows. A lot of people pointed out this box art doesn't have any. For people who don't realize, when they build these box art models, occasionally they don't have the clear pieces, or more often than not, they request that they don't use the clear pieces because they will cause lens flare and whatnot when they're photographing it for the box art, and then they go back in afterwards and airbrush in the glass. So anyway, moving along without dwelling on that, here's your side panel showing the blur. There we go. I was just saying, go and focus. Rather, the regular stock engine, the regular stock interior, and here's the just sort of the stock run-of-the-mill car, the rear end of the car that's on the box art. I have obviously not opened this yet, but one thing to remember when you're looking at this and going, "Oh, this has been a hot rod," that this is the exact same kit as the 48 Ford convertible and the chopped 48 Ford. This is just a new body, is what you're getting here, along with these police lights and stuff. But beyond that, this kit is basically a new body and obviously new glass and a new interior tub to fit this. Well, not a new interior tub, but a stock interior tub to fit this coupe. And I don't know, the Steelies might be new. I'd have to go digging around and see if the other kits had them. Because I know that these hubcaps carry over and the wide whites carry over. But at any rate, it's just a body on the old kit. So like I said, I haven't opened this yet. I haven't gone through it. I don't know if there's any hot rod parts in here or not. But if there aren't, well, you can very, very easily find the Good Guys Rod and Custom version of the 48 Ford convertible at Michael's. I don't think Hobby Lobby carries it. I think it might be too old a kit for that. But my local Michael's, which never restocks their models, still has it laying around. And of course, the 48 Ford Custom will fit there. So kit bashing this with the speed parts out of the other kits or the complete custom engines that are in the other kits. I think what the 48 Ford Custom or 48 Ford chopped custom, I think it has lowered suspension pieces too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have one of those, so if it doesn't, I apologize in advance. But it just seems like that car sits a lot lower than this does, and the Woody and the convertible. But you know, the parts for it are out there, so it's not like they just put the stock car out and everybody's just sort of sit here and grimace about it. Those customs, the custom, chop custom, and the convertibles are everywhere. They're all over eBay. They're all over shows. Probably 8 or 10 people bought multiples of them and will be willing to trade you for one if you have something that they're willing to trade you for. Don't look at me. I'm not saying myself. I'm just saying in general. So don't count this one out just because it's just a boring coupe. You can certainly hot rod this all over the place just by bashing it with the other kits, which this will fit perfectly on because it is obviously, like I said, just that kit with a new body. So anyway, guys, that's what we got here. We have a giant box idling in Japan again. I went a little nuts. Hobbylink Japan, for people who don't regularly follow, has had in the past a policy of just sort of carrying a bare minimum of stuff. It's been a very, very large point of contention and frustration for a lot of us who shop there a lot, as well as people who, you know, for us that are trying to advertise them through our, you know, Facebook channels or our YouTube channels. Hang on, I got to turn this light off. Or else. There we go. Or else I get that whole weird lighting thing going on. For those of us that advertise them on their YouTube channels, or we try to promote them online in forums or on Facebook or anywhere else, you know, you go, hey, well, that's available through Hobbylink Japan. And then people go to Hobbylink Japan, they go, hey, it's out of stock, or it's, you know, back ordered for 6 months at a time. Hobbylink Japan has opened at least one, perhaps two. I don't know if they opened it like they built it or they're just leasing space, but at any rate, they have a much larger warehouse now. They are not confined to the original Hobbylink Japan building anymore. And what that has done is allowed them to stock a great deal more things in. For example, the automotive section of Hobbylink Japan, the 1/24 scale. Now I know that makes certain people's skin itches because that's not the right scale. But for the rest of us who actually build models and realize that international kits come in 1/24 scale, there are 912 items that they can stock for you, and it was not at all unusual for there only to be, say, 150 to, well, say 110 to 150 of those items in stock at any given time, and some of those in stock items were pre-orders for kits that were coming in the future. This new warehouse has allowed them to, on most days, because I've checked in numerous times, and this is how I wound up with this giant box of stuff, that they normally are running about 500 to 600 items in stock at any given time. You'll see there's a new stock status on HobbyLink Japan that says in stock, ships in 5 to 9 days. And what that means is that kit is in stock at their satellite warehouse, not at the actual corporate headquarters. Brand new kits are still going to the HobbyLink Japan building itself, and so those kits are like instantaneously available. Things you order with that tag that say, in stock 5 to 9 days, when you order them, and pay attention here because I see so many FIFO reviews and other people's reviews of people who clearly just don't understand how the system works. When you order something on this in stock in 5 to 9 days, it will then go to back stock because obviously there's none of it in the actual building where the order taking computers are. They've got to send a request across the street or down the block or wherever the warehouse is to send them up the kit so they can fill your order. In a couple of days, now I've just had this done and it took exactly 2 business days later to get it, you'll then get billed out for it like you would. So if you're ordering a bunch of in-stock stuff and you're worried about being billed for it immediately versus, not, know that the stuff that says the 5 to 9 days is usually not billed out on the same invoice as the stuff that is in stock at the HobbyLink Japan building, because the stuff that's in the building with the order taking, inventory computers will bill out the next day. The stuff that they have to ship from down the street, that stuff will have to be processed separately. And beyond that, I guess the only other really big news, if you will, out of Japan, and in the sense of like buying things from Japan, is the fact that the cost of EMS, which is the Express Mail Service, it's the Japanese post equivalent of priority mail. The cost of that has gone up somewhere between about $3 to $7, depending on how expensive, how heavy your box is. Because much like the U.S. Postal Service, EMS is done on both dimensional weight and volume. Meaning, if you ship a bunch of large things that don't weigh a lot, you get charged almost as much as you would for shipping a bunch of small stuff that weighs a ton, because they do box measurements and then there's a weight limit to it. So, HobbyLink Japan has added what is known as SAL parcel, which is the surface airlift, which anybody who's in the military knows that's sort of the same way you got your mail in the military. And it tends to take somewhere between 2 weeks and a month to get things to the United States through surface airlift. They've added a parcel version of that, which is sort of like, sending something. Remember, anybody who really is, let's see, into logistics and of a certain age will remember there used to be like a UPS parcel post where it didn't go through UPS as fast as everything else did. They don't offer that anymore, but because anything that's that big and that oversized goes through UPS Freight now, which is, of course, the old overnight. But anyway, we're going into a tangent of nothing. All this is going to do is give you a larger box that you can ship your SAL stuff through, because SAL had a weight limit of 2,000 kilograms, which tended to be about 3 model kits. This will have a much larger weight limit. I want to say there's a dimensional thing with the U.S. Postal Service handling parcel post, so it can only be so big to the United States, but it's going to carry enough stuff for the average purchaser, not the hoarder. So, it's just something to keep in mind. You'll see that other option. I believe that it offers insurance because of the ability to have the increased value of the increased weight, although I do not believe it has tracking. They don't offer what is known as registered SAL, which you can get from Hobby Search, though, the 1999.jp.co. And I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know there's obviously some stuff here that I could do kit reviews on. I'm so far behind on that. I sort of figured that having the upgrade at work to not working out of town and only working during the weekdays was going to give me more free time with this. And as of right now, I'm still trying to adjust to the schedule of getting up at 4:30 in the morning every morning, or 4 o'clock in the morning every morning. And, it's just it was a struggle to get the gumption up to do this video, let alone anything else. So, believe me, I'm working on trying to get everything leveled out, and hopefully in another couple weeks here, I can figure out whether I need to do stuff before work or after work and all that happiness. So anyway, I I need a new catchphrase for these because see you guys on the other side doesn't really work here. But anyway, guys, I'll see you on the other side.